Assalamualaikum, and a very good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the Center for Teaching and Learning, UTMLead, I would like to welcome everyone to this most anticipated talk on cybergogy and peeragogy. I would also like to give a warm welcome to our distinguished speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Zuhainis Saad, Deputy Director for the Center for Academic Development, Universiti Putra, Malaysia. Thank you, Prof. Zuhainis, for taking time in your busy schedule to be with us this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed privileged to have with us Associate Professor Dr. Zuhainis Saad to enlighten us on how to redesign learning strategies in a virtual learning environment. It is indeed amazing that Associate Professor Dr. Zuhainis, a microbiologist, is also an incredible educational technology enthusiast. For her outstanding trend-setting efforts, Dr. Zuhainis was awarded the prestigious Reimagine and Redesigning Higher Education Immersive Learning Award, or the APRS, by the Ministry of Higher Education in 2017. Let's give her an applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no more ado, can I call upon Dr. Zuhainis for her talk. Again, another big round of applause.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon. Thank you so much, Dr. Mehdi, for your kind introduction. Okay, kenapa nak scan QR? So I am very honoured and humbled to be here today. Thank you, UTMLead, for having me here in UTM. This is not my first time in UTM, but my first time giving a talk. As I was talking just now to Dr. Hadi, my son was from here, graduated in chemical engineering, and now working in Singapore. So I'm going to share with you within these 2 hours on my experiences of learning microbiology with technology with my students. When the Minister, Amanat Menteri 2018, mentioned about pedagogy, peeragogy and cybergogy, and my director at that time was saying, okay, you have done this before, she said, let's share with others. Whatever that I'm going to show you is actually a practices with my students, the microbiology students, which I hope that to give you an idea on how you can implement this approach in your teaching and learning. Doesn't matter your field is science or language or any other social sciences, but this is just an options for you to give an idea on how you can redesign your learning activities towards the pedagogy, peeragogy and cybergogy. What I'm trying to say is we are not moving, we're supposed to be in the 21st century, and we should call ourselves as 21st century educator. Okay, let's do this first. Use your mobile. If you do not have a QR reader, you can use the URL. You can type in the URL. And some phones, some mobile, you can just use straight away your camera. Then you can go you can scan the QR code. If not, you have to type in the URL. If you cannot go in, that means you have typed it wrongly. You are in? If you are in, then do the task. Sampai mana? Tengok. Ah, yes. Okay. What is the task? Take a selfie or Wi-Fi. And then? Boleh bertiga ke berlima pun boleh. Okay, we see some posts already. Now, this is a compilation of the participants from my talk on CYBERGOGY. That's why I put there as crowdsourcing, and not particularly for UTM, but from UTHM and from other universities also. So we have from Faculty of Science, okay, after take the selfie, what's next? Introduce yourself. Okay, after that? Yes, share resources. Share resources about CYBERGOGY. Ini introduce yourself je ni, cepat share information pula. Okay, so what we're doing now? What are we doing now? What are we doing now? What you see on your screen, on everybody's screen is the same, right? So this is what we call a, real time, yes, correct. This is also called synchronous activity, right? Synchronous activity. So let's say now, if today I'm giving you this talk, and I have a lecture, we don't have lecture, today is Sunday in KL. But then if I have a lecture, I can just give this link, and then ask questions, what do you want to do? You know, you can just give any higher order thinking skill questions, right? One way of doing learning. So, in the 21st century, when we talk about learning, learning is supposed to be anywhere, anytime. What else? Anytime, anywhere. One more. Anyone. Anyone pun okey juga lah. Okay. Anytime, anywhere. Anyway. Anywhere to any place lah. But now is anytime, anywhere, and anyway. Way, W-A-Y. That means in any method. So this is one of the methods which students can actually access anytime, right? As long as there is the internet connection. Okay, so while we're doing that, you still can go in, okay? I'm going to continue. Okay, when you look at this table, where are you? Where are you? Kat mana? Oh, 3.5? Okay. I tak masuk educator 4.0 yet, because that's what we're going to show you. But you think, where are you now? Tadi I dengar 3.5, which is actually very good. Huh? I'm afraid if there is still, if there are still people here where your students come in like this and you give them that 99 slides and you finish that 99 slides, right? And then you're going to ask your students, you understand? Then what happened after you ask, do you understand? And then what would the student say? Yes. And then what do you do? You proceed to the next slide. Right? Okay. So that is education 1.0. But let's say if you ask, do you understand? And then they say yes. And then you say, can you explain? Right? Can you explain? Then that will be 2.0. It means you actually have some kind of interaction. Right. Now, after they have explained, 2.0 dah ni. After they have explained, how are you going to make it better? How do you actually can increase the interaction? Give them homework. Okay. How do you know that they're going to do that homework? They have to submit the next class. Okay, good. I'm sure you have your Moodle LMS. You're using Moodle, right? Okay. Now, if let's say the students say, okay, explain to each other, explain, and then you want to make it better, to enhance or you want to have more interaction, you get other students to be involved. That means you get the students who explain this now to explain to a group, and that group of students will explain to another group. So that is more interaction in the class. And when there is that kind of interaction, you get your students to teach others. That is what we call peeragogy. Peeragogy, peer learning, right? But peer learning is so very important that it can be done in many ways right now. And I'm sure that most of you, when we talk about peeragogy, the things that the students and you are afraid of is apa? When we give them group work, what is the thing that you're afraid of? Explain that you're very concerned. Sleeping partner and free riders. And how much of this, how do we assess this one? How do they actually contribute? Right? So with the 21st century, with the advancements of technology, all this can be done easily, meaning that there are tools and apps that help you to make your learning and teaching process easier. Not only for you, for also the students. Now, let's say at 3.0, we are talking about digital mobile. Enabling children everywhere. Co-constructed and created. You see? At 3.0, co-constructed and created. What is 4.0 then? Kalau the 3.0 is already co-constructed and created, co-creators, then 4.0 apa? Self-learning, okay, that is self-determined learning, that is pedagogy, but ourselves. We are talking about ourselves. We have to be co-learners. Do not be afraid to become co-learners. You know why we have to become co-learners? Because sometimes the students, they can actually easily get your notes or information about that particular topic that you're teaching at any time using Google and other platforms, right? Mostly will be Google. But then, what is our role then? Sometimes, when you give them an assignment, for example, as simple as infographic, okay? As simple as infographic. And then you tell them, oh, you can use this platform for your infographic, for example. But then when the students submit the infographic, you see it's different. And then you ask them, oh, what tool do you use to make this infographic? Then they will tell you, oh, this one. Then those are the app or the tool or platform that you have never heard before. Then you learn something new from your students, right? So that is Educator 4.0. Learning together with your students, co-learners. But again, I want to emphasize here that 1, 2, 3, 4 is this number. Nanti bila kata, oh, I dah buat ni dah 4.0, okay, that's it. Kan? So that's why I'm saying the approach is 4.0 and beyond. What else that we can do after this? Before this tak pernah dengar pun pasal 4.0 pun Educator 1.0, right? But because of this fourth industrial revolution, when fourth industrial revolution came in, then everybody is talking about 4.0. Now, I want to show you how the evolution of students' learning and how I started to change the way of learning. I started to do e-learning since 2011. At that time, there was a lot of limitations. So like one group will have only one laptop. 2011. By the time 2012, you have like 2 laptops per group. When you have 2 laptops per group, for example, then you have to start thinking what kind of work that you can give them during class. By the time 2014, okay, this is 2014, I still remember. It was 9 September 2014, first class of microbiology class. And then I said, it was Tuesday. I said, you have to do a video, 1 minute video, not more than 1 minute video, submit into YouTube, upload in YouTube, put it as unlisted, and then upload here in at that time was blank space. Tuesday, at that time I have 51 students, and then Friday to submit before class. What would be the type of video that you were thinking, that you expect? If you give this task to your student, what kind of video that you think that they will submit? And then they will have to do within 2 days. 2014. I'm sorry? Oh yes, I give them the freedom, any video, just to introduce themselves. But within that video, I give them a KWL strategy. KWL is, ask them the question, what do you know about microbiology? And then, what do you want to know? Right? K, what do you know? 1, W kan? What do you want to know? That question they have to embed in their video. Nanti at the end of the semester, I will give them another video, what you have learned. Remember? KWL. Okay, so what kind of video that you think they will submit? 2014. And I did not mention anything at all. No platform, no example also. And this was one of the submissions. So they give me in the form of cartoon. Then I was saying, oh, these students, they know about cartoon, which I did not mention at all. So at least I know that they have been exposed. Not all, but some of them. Another one is
this video, I will introduce myself as a microbiology student. Enjoy watching.
Medicine course is my first choice. One of my dreams is to become a doctor because a doctor can cure diseases as well as give moral support to the patient and their family. I think this job is very meaningful.
So you see, within that 2 days, and they gave me that kind of video, and what do you think of our lesson plan would be? Revamp everything. Like you will have to revamp everything. That means they have a lot of exposure and they love doing video. They must have loved doing video, right? Because they would spend that much of time and that effort to do that video. Or maybe they thought, you know, that video for them, just 1 minute video, alah, kacang for them, right? So, they have to redesign, right? So, now, okay, this one again 3.0. Okay, in 3.0, teacher to student, student to student, student to teacher, people, technology to people. People, technology to people. Like you create the content using the technology, and then the technology will be another platform to connect with other people, right? So in the whole process of peeragogy, pedagogy, and cybergogy, is actually the most important thing, is the most important word there is actually connects. Okay, you want to get them to connect at anywhere, anytime, and anyway. Now, this is in the educational technology. If you notice, schools are viewed and always changing with learners as a source of innovation and production. Now, when we say source of changing, source of innovation and production, when you create your lesson plan, I'm sure that you have your lesson plan submitted before the class. And then during the first day of the class, do you actually discuss with your students, what are we going to do this semester, for example? It would be good to do that because the students will have more ideas. And if you think that they have, you know, it is practical to do, then you should start planning for that particular idea, right? So come back to just now, as co-learners and co-creators, remember? And this is what we want to ask, to get your students to ask when they come into your class. How are they going to learn? You can get this from this website called Organic Learning. Okay, John Dewey said, I'm sure you have seen this many times, if we teach our students like we were taught yesterday, we rob them of tomorrow. Do you remember when you were studying? If it is like photos in my time, we don't have internet, we don't have phone, and our references is through Microfiche. Ada tak sesiapa kat sini yang sama? You know the Microfiche. And nowadays people do not even know Microfiche. You know, there was this, I read it somewhere. An 8-year-old boy, okay, no, sorry, the father took the floppy disk, floppy disk, took the floppy disk and showed to the 8-year-old son. And then the boy said, "Wow, Dad, you 3D printed the save icon." You know, the save icon in our all, you know, save icon, and you 3D printed and looks like a floppy disk. Because why do you think that the son was excited? Because of the 3D printing model. It's not because of, you know, and then he was excited because the father 3D printed, used 3D printer. But it's actually a floppy disk, right? So if we're going to teach our students like we were taught last time, we were with Microfiche, and then we have to, you know, like negative film to look for the article, and after we get the article, we have to go to the shelf and bring the big heavy journals and make copies, Xerox kan? So now it's like just one click away. Okay, one more. Cuba. Just put the keyword, okay? No need sentences, just keywords. Siapa yang tak boleh, you can type in menti.com and put the code. Okay, let's see. Now we can see some bigger words. Okay, what does it show? The bigger words show the highest numbers of. Okay, now the getting smaller. So interactive. Okay, what is the best way to make your students learn? Collaborative, interactive is the biggest word, the most number of words used. Collaborative practice. I saw active learning there. Engage, videos. Right? Now this can go on and on. Okay, so interactive. That means now you're saying that the best way that your student would learn in your classroom would be interactive. Now, when you get your students to be interactive, what happens actually to the students? What do they do when you are actually interacting with them? What would they be doing? They will be more. They would want to act active, to participate actively. What else?
Constructing new knowledge.
I'm sorry?
Constructing new knowledge.
In order to construct new knowledge, they have to be more focused, right? And they will not be sleeping, and they will be more engaging in the class. Now, the question that I gave to a group of students last week on Thursday. On Tuesday. I went to this. I was invited to this Yayasan Siswa, Sukarelawan Siswa. These students, 50 of them, right? From different universities, including IPTS and IPG. I asked them, how do you learn best in the classroom? This is what they put. What is the biggest word there? Love. Right. I asked them the same question. What does it mean? Right. I asked them, what do you mean love? And then there were 66 of the entry, 50 of them. And then love is the biggest word. Do you expect this? I didn't expect it either. And then I was like, love, okay. Then I said, what do you mean by love? They said that, one, they have to love the course. They have to love the topics. And then, okay, those are some of this side of the, and then the other side, what else? What do you mean by love? They said that it's not that they have to, they have to be, one of it, family. You see, they want it to be like, you know, a big family learning together, loving each other. You know, in a different setting, right? Your classroom is to be that kind of environment where the students feel comfortable to come in and learn together, right? This is really unexpected for me because, you know, to have the word love, the biggest one in, you know, that is how you learn best in the classroom. So it's a this answer actually challenge us because it will, you know, as an educator, how are you going to spread the love in our classroom, right? Okay, very challenging, and of course there will be practical. Practical means they want to do. Okay, they want to do. So we have to create that environment. And I am the strong advocate of learning by doing. So that's why at first it was very hard, very difficult, but then when you get the hang of it and okay, I just, you know, you all do, you know, right? Okay, 21st century classroom. This is not in the future, but this is now. Okay, this is what's happening now, right? That is the elementary school and the high school. And now, even though you don't have a collaborative classroom or smart classroom or future classroom, but learning should be happening where you actually design your active learning. Active learning can be done in any way. So this is my class, and my class is BYOD. BYOD means bring your own device. And like this, for example, why do you think that they sit on the floor? Not because there is no space. Yeah, they were looking for platform. Right. So, Einstein said, I don't teach my students. I just create or attempt to create an environment in which they can learn. So that is our job. We have to create the environment. I want my student to come in from the door, close the door, and they are, okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to ask you a question. Because I gave this question, every year for the past 10 years. On my first class of microbiology class. First class, first semester, they are all from matrix, from diploma, from Assoc, from Form 6. Okay? Okay, what is that? Sorry? Q. Okay? Again? Sperm. Okay, again? I'm sorry? A tree. Okay, what tree is that? Okay, maybe a tree, okay? Again? Microorganism. Ini masuk micro class kan? Okay, what else? Dr. Nazia? Balloon. Believe it or not, except for tree lah kan? Each and every semester that I ask and I do the same thing, each of the answers that you give just now, especially the sperm part. Definitely, tak boleh lari punya, every time. But then, when I tell them, when you are in my class, when you come into my class, you close the door, you are in the microbial world. In the microbial world, there is no sperm, there is no balloon, there is no tree. There will be only microorganisms. There will be only microbes. So, as a future microbiologist, that will be a cell with a flagellum. That means a bacterium. Okay? Cannot be a virus. Because, you know, these students, when they tell me, what is microbes? What are microbes? They was, okay, what is the most familiar bacteria that you are, what is the bacteria that you are most familiar with? Then they will say amoeba. Amoeba is not a bacteria. Amoeba is protozoa, for example. Right? Okay. Okay, now with the microbiology class. Right. So we do a lot of this group work. We sit on the floor and you know, guling-guling kat situ. So lectures is only 15 minutes top. Okay? 15 minutes. Right? 15. 1-5. And then the rest are activity. And how to do that? How to get them involved in the activity. Very, very important. How to get them involved in the activity. What is the most important thing if you want them to be involved? Huh? Sorry? Exercise? Okay, task. But then you design the task. How do you know that they can be involved? You discuss, okay, discuss. How do you know that there will be discussion and they will discuss? People, if you want them to present, if you want them to discuss, if you want them to participate, they have to know first, right? They have to be prepared, meaning that is the most important thing. They have to prepare themselves. So when they close the door, they would know today what they have to do. Right? What is the topic all about? Remember, if Educator 1.0, they will come and listen to you. Everything is from you. But now when they come in, everything is, not everything now, most fully will be from them and together from us. But that will not happen. No discussion can be done. Presentation tak jadi. Exercise tak boleh buat because they are not prepared. So, train them to be prepared first. And how to do that? That's the question. And you can give them videos, for example. I saw just now, how do you learn best? Videos, a lot of videos. You can give them videos. And then you say, oh, the next day, did you watch my video last night? And then a few of them will say, a few of them, like less than 2 hands, like will say yes, right? Some of them will say, tak pandai nak jawab. Some of them will say, got video, right? Got video. They don't even know that it was a video. And you woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, carilah video ni kan. Send semua screen dulu and everything and upload. Right? So if you're just going to give them a video and you expect them to watch, they will never watch. Especially those yang 10 to 15 minutes video. Right? They will never watch. I can guarantee you that. Unless, what? Unless you give them a task together before, submit before the class. That task, okay? Now, what kind of task? That's another thing, right? Okay. Now, before this, I don't know how long, we've been calling ourselves as learning designers, design the activities. Most recently, like very recent, I think we should be a COO. Ada COO pula. Mana NCA ke mana tak ada COO. Universiti kena ada COO. What is COO? For in this, in designing learning, the COO here is Chief Opportunity Orchestrator. Kan? Chief Opportunity Orchestrator. That means you're going to orchestrate your learning. Kan? You see, you bayangkan dalam orchestra tu kan? We have lots of people playing the music together to create a symphony. But it will not become a symphony kalau somebody missed a note and somebody is not there, right? So we become so I think the word COO in this sense is very relevant. Now, don't be afraid of the word, okay? Don't get intimidated. I'm sure you have done this, doing all the designing the learning activities. It's just that now they are giving terms. Sama juga macam Educator 4.0 and all. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is, you've heard about, before these people talking about flipped classroom. Benda tu macam dah lama dah flipped classroom. And people talk about, oh now you as an educator, you are not a sage on the stage anymore, but you are the guide on the side, kan? Facilitator, you're supposed to become facilitator. Ada yang cakap as a coach, kan? And all of that also have to be involved because of the advancement of the technology. Now, I've given many workshops, and when I like show and share some suggestion and all, some of the very eminent professors, they were saying, so now you're telling me not to teach. Bila kita sebut flip classroom, kan? So now you're telling me not to teach. Do you know how many students that I have graduated? Now, it's not easy to change, right? We will not force people to change, right? But I have this one folder in my laptop, one folder, resistance kat situ. Now, because, why we need to change? Because you see, where are you now? X. Oh, I pun X juga. Siapa kat sini Y? Mesti ada. Dr. Nina Y ke? Oh, Dr. Biha Y. Oh, terus dia X. And our children, our kids, some dah generation Z, and some masih lagi Alpha. Right. And can you imagine in 10 years time they are here, matriculation, and you're teaching, for example, right? And these people looking at generation Z, they think in 4D. They think in 4D, right? They're blended, and they communicate through and with images. They are very, very visual, right? And they are future focused. This one, future focused, and they want to work for success. Now, if you read some of the data where you see all these Gen Z who has in the working environment, they jump from one job to another. They jump from one job to another. And what are they looking for? They still do not know actually. Right? And now this is not in the future. This is what we have now. Click on sensor, have bracelet. I see some of you have that also. And AV glasses. And smartwatch is like for dah lama. Okay, so when we actually design the Gen Z, we should be looking at the task-based learning or project-based learning, learning by doing, right? Because Benjamin Franklin said, tell me and I forget, show me, I remember, involve me, I will learn, kan? Okay, so there are also some, this is by Apple Education, challenge-based learning. Okay, you want to challenge them. The students, they like to be challenged. When you create a challenge-based learning, so they have to do a lot of research, a lot of questions, and a lot of what we call content curation. Okay, content curation. So when they are doing, so they are more interested in learning. Now, more to personalized learning. Okay, so this is what we are our focus. Heutagogy, peeragogy, or paragogy, and cybergogy. And heutagogy, we are looking at how to get students to be self-determined learners. If you have any question, you can ask. Huh? And pedagogy is only focusing on co-learning or co-creating and cybergogy, virtual learning environment. Okay. Now, if you can see here, later you see, pedagogy was coined in 2007, but cybergogy was actually coined in 2006, earlier than pedagogy. But then cybergogy was like very quiet at that time. Now, like activated, right? Okay. So, pedagogy is the study of self-determined learner. Self-determined learner, and more personalized, driven. So, let's say if you create, tadi saya cakap buat homework, when you actually give them a homework, what kind of homework? Of course, you can give them homework. But the question is, what type of homework? What kind of homework that you can actually encourage them to become self-directed learners? If you're going to give them questions without any, them to think deeper, explore, research, right? Then you will just stop there. Then you are not actually developing their self-determined or self-directed learners. So it's very important that these to inculcate all these habits, to develop the habit, it has to come from us. Now, so learners are problem finders. They love to be given problems. Kalau kita buat, sorry. Wait. Sorry. Okay. Reason for learning. Learning is not necessarily sequential or linear. Focus on learning, inquiry driven, motivation, experiencing flow, and role of teacher, coach. I saw in the word cloud just now, real-time examples. Okay, real-time. They love to be involved, or they love when they are learning something that is related to their topic, to their real-time situation, real-life experience. For example, my topic on toxin. Semua tahu toxin kan? Contoh toxin, I give them, tapi the task is about Botox. Okay? Botox. Now, kita tengok, simple lah, ni bukan microbiology class, but then Botox. I give them the topic on Botox. If I want, kalau dalam Bloom taxonomy tu lah kan, okay, I'm sure that you're familiar with revised Bloom taxonomy, ya. Bloom taxonomy. You give them a Botox. I don't give them a target topic, toxin, but give them they ask them to look for information about Botox. Why? Because Botox is actually from the bacteria called Clostridium botulinum. Okay? Bacteria ni, dia produce toxin. That toxin is called botulinum. The same toxin that is used in Botox. This toxin, this bacteria botulism ni, is a disease caused in the canned food. So if you have after you consume the food from can and you get a very bad diarrhea, that is because of this bacteria. Okay, that means the canned food is being contaminated with this toxin from Clostridium. But the same toxin is used in Botox. Of course, in a different amount. But overdose of the toxin can cause is a neurotoxin. Okay, can go to your brain. Now, the students also were curious. Why Botox? Belajar toxin ni, kan? So, what did I do just now? When I said about Botox, I mentioned just now the word. The students were curious. You get them curious first. When they're curious, what do? They will look for the information. If they look for the information, you give them a Padlet just now, Padlet yang tadi I bagi you tu, and then you say, okay, share information about Botox. Right? what will they do? They will search. They will just Google and they will upload. What do you think that they will upload? What do you think? The easiest thing they will Wikipedia and YouTube video about Botox. Dah habis dah bahagian C1, C2 punya belum taxonomy. Kan? Remember, understand, right? Nak pergi ke C3 macam mana ni with this Botox? Discuss how this toxin can be a Botox. Ni kejap lagi lunchtime nak pergi Botox kejap. By the time 2 o'clock tengok I dah buku lain. Right? Exactly. C3 apply. You discuss with your group members, you know, or you can divide into group and see what you give questions. Dah habis dah C3. Then C4, analyze. Macam mana nak suruh dia orang buat ni? C5, nak analyze on Botox ni. When they, go to the lab. Okay, kalau go to the lab, itu kita nak test dia orang punya psychomotor, kan? And they get data, then we analyze. Boleh. Tapi we don't actually, in our lab, we don't actually expose them to this toxin lah. Kalau tidak, ramai je lab tu penuh je tengah hari di Botox, kan? But then, you know, let's say, if I want to even ask them to even create C6, for example, what kind of task from this particular small Botox that you can? What I did was, I asked them to, you have to create a video at the end of learning, a documentary about Botox. In the Botox, right? In the documentary, you have to interview an expert. When I asked them to interview an expert, oh, do you have anyone in mind that you want to interview? And I have people already in my mind, you know, but I asked them first. And what do you think that they answered? When I say, oh, who are the experts? Or who is the expert that you want to interview?
Celebrity.
Yes, exactly. It crossed my mind. They want to They want to interview an artist, and they are actually put in Botox. I was thinking like, oh, doctor ke, beautician ke, kan? And they most of them say, oh, an artist, I know. Yeah, like, you know, I want to be asking me, and as though like, you know, that person at the Botox. And then they create a documentary, right? So, I mean, that's how we get them to do. It's just as simple as a topic on toxin je. But then when you see the outcome and the output and the effort that they give, right? So, now, when as simple a task as macam Botox study, when they have group work, they are doing peer learning, right? These students will interact. This is what you have done in your class when you give them group work. The problem is, how do you know that everybody is contributing for that particular learning outcome? And peeragogy is the latest, actually. Not the latest, there's another one. But between the peeragogy, peeragogy, and cybergogy, cybergogy was coined first 2006, peeragogy 2007, and peeragogy or peeragogy is just only 2011. Okay. Increase accessibility to online networks. This one is under peeragogy. And also, they take on new importance in the digital age. So, this was by Reingold in 2014. They mentioned that the production of peer learning, the output, mostly in the form of digital output. Okay, Wang and Kang in 2006 coined the word cybergogy. The strategies for creating engaged learning online. Now, you have your own MOOC, you have your LMS, right? You have your Moodle. Those are actually a virtual learning environment. The challenge is how to create an active, interactive or more meaningful learning through online, right? Cybergogy, creating learner-centered and collaborative virtual learning environment. So they think behavior, their emotion are all connected through technology and internet. I'll give this slide to Dr. Bihar. Yeah? Okay. Okay, this one kita dah. Okay, in cybergogy, it involves the cognitive, emotive factors, interpersonal and community, learning emotional, social, building communities. Now, it's not actually an easy approach actually in learning to get all these elements in a virtual environment, right? In a virtual environment. To build even a community, and the social factors have to be emphasized. Now, this is Bloom taxonomy, but Bloom digital taxonomy. Now, this is the old taxonomy. Now we are using this Bloom modified taxonomy 2001, but with the digital age, we are using Bloom extended digital taxonomy, where you have sharing them. Okay, this coming September, you will have new students born 1998, 99, right? So you have orientation week. I remember because I sent my son here, remember? And then some of them will stop dia pakat tu kat security guard. What will they ask? What will they ask to the pakat? They won't ask di mana, because they have ways. And your orientation package sudah tunjuk dah kat mana. Ditanya apa, wifi ada tak? Dia takkan tanya wifi ada tak? Because kalau universiti ni tak ada wifi, kau tak datang. Kan? So what will they ask? They ask for wifi password. Kan? Tapi dia tak ask for wifi ada ke tak? Kan? Dia ask for wifi untuk apa? For what? For what? Share apa? Satu share location. Share status kan? No, in the soil of UTM. You know, selfie and everything kan? Update their status in Facebook. Kan? I'm sorry? Instagram kan? Dan Instagram pun dah boleh video kan, everything. Right? So, they want to share. Itu memang diorang punya the main characteristics of these students, this generation. They want to share. When they share, they feel that they are connected to the world. Right? When they share in Facebook, Insta, they share to the world. Tak kisah you follow dia ke tak follow dia ke. Kan? Right? Okay. So, activities with digital tools. I've blog, commenting, reviewing. Do not be surprised. Even when in 2014, when I asked them to do an e-portfolio, and I said you can use any platform, they have their own blog already before they come in, actually. Right? Okay, so you can. This is Bloom Digital, still under the Bloom Digital taxonomy. Videos, document. This one is the source. Source. And then comprehend, that means they can even understand. Then you give them test, assessment, and question. But then you want to apply. You were saying just now. Now, for us, like simple application is like discuss. But in Bloom digital taxonomy, learning games, role playing, simulation, itu dah C3, itu dah application dah. Learning games, that means you give them one platform, as simple as you've heard of cram, C-R-A-M, cram, main kat situ, and then they all dah boleh tahu macam mana nak main. Kan? Problem, now you see, analyze, you give them problem, forums, and then evaluate. Okay, now when you ask them to evaluate, you tak boleh masuk dalam Padlet and then you ask them to rate. Oh, berapa star, right? But then you give them more to mentoring, because we are talking about pedagogy here. And lastly, collaboration, reviewing is under creation. You see the word collaboration, but it's under creation, right? Because collaboration is they have to to organize, they have to develop. It's not something that, okay, you collaborate dengan dia, yeah? And then, that's it. Right? But in order for collaborations to work, they have to start, they have to develop it themselves. That's why collaboration is under creation in the Bloom digital taxonomy. Okay?